we go!
Hey guys, welcome to a very special Kansoi Fighter Live. This is coming to you live from Steam Next Fest, and happy to have you join. My name is Logan. I'm head of marketing and PR here at Cersei Studios, making Kansoi Fighter.
Yeah. I'm Shane Helms. I'm the director of Cersei Studios.
Hey, and I'm Sean Cornett. I do programming stuff.
Yep.
Sweet. Well, like I said, this is a special episode of Kansoi Fighter Live. This is the first time you've ever seen us. The Steam Next Fest is going on right now, so if you're joining us from Steam, sweet, hello. And this is I would say like a bi-monthly show that we do that's basically all news in regards to this the game that we're working on, which is Kansoi Fighter. Majority of today's stream, we're going to be doing a lot of gameplay. We'll be doing some traditional kind of arcade modes. We'll do some multiplayer modes. Feel free, if you go to Steam right now and download the game. The free demo's out right now. You can join us. All you got to do is once you start it, just go to network, and or whenever we get to online matches, you might play with us. You might play with somebody else, but we'll see.
Yep.
But if this is your first time here, you're probably wondering, what is Kansoi Fighter, which is a damn good question. And by that, I'm going to give us to the director to answer.
Sure. So Kansoi Fighter is a hand-drawn traditional fighting game that's sort of in the vein of your classic 90s era fighters, but with a couple more modern twists. The premise of the game is that our lead character, Yumu, is trapped in a coma, and each of the different fighters represent a different aspect of his personality. They're kind of thrust into conflict as their world begins to fall apart. The game features 10 different playable characters, but we have 4 of them available in the Next Fest demo right now. So make sure to hop in and try them out. There are a full 9-chapter story mode available in the full game, as well as your traditional arcade versus both local and online multiplayer featuring our own built from the ground up rollback netcode. There are some interesting modern twists about the game. One of the things we like to tout is our Fourscore AI system. It's a kind of innovative new AI system we developed for our CPU fighters that you'll face off against in arcade and versus modes, where the AI can actually sort of predict the different outcomes of all the possible actions it could take, score them, and pick the choice based on your difficulty selection as what to do from moment to moment throughout gameplay. So it's very capable at reacting to your unique fighting style. and just kind of a different approach to how CPU fighters are typically done. So, yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, why don't we go ahead and jump on in
Sure.
the game?
All right.
So right when you start the game, you will be, if this is the first time you're starting the game, you'll actually be prompted with a kind of, here are your default layouts.
For the controls.
Yep. So do you want to kind of talk about
Yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah, so Kansai Fighter is available on a lot of platforms. We support on Steam native builds for PC, Mac OS, Linux, and Steam Deck. The game is also available on the Android operating system in Google Play. And as a result, we support a wide array of crossplay and different input methodologies. So we've had to add a lot to the game to allow for dynamic input mapping and different controls. So we do support in-game remapping of your control scheme for both controller and keyboard. If you're using an Android device, you also have touch customizations available there as well. But yeah, we have kind of a default control scheme that's kind of in alignment with a couple other more recent fighting games that we've seen. That you can use, or if you want to hop in and customize it to your preferred layout, you can do that right here in the menu.
Sweet. So let's go ahead and jump on into just some traditional kind of arcades.
Arcade stack. All right.
Extreme,
I'll
geez.
go hard to start. We'll do a traditional match here, and I think I'm going to start off with Isamu. I'll talk about him a little bit. Isamu is kind of a good character to learn the beginnings of Kansai Fighter. He's kind of a good all-rounder, but he does have some pretty good reach with his sword-based attacks. So I generally like to hop in with him.
Yeah, usually he's one of my go-tos. What I really like about Isamu in regards to just kind of the ease of getting his combos down and all that is a majority of his moves are punch attacks. Punch attacks in the sense that he's using his sword, but your button layout is going to be more of like a forward back punch, forward punch, and so on. Unlike like Kenta, who he's fighting with right now, like Kenta has different kind of forward back kicks, forward back punches, so it's just kind of a mixture of those. And he totally got you. But this is just, with Isamu again, with most of those controls being punch moves or punch inputs, I guess would maybe be a better term.
Mm-hmm.
It's really easy to be able to kind of master pretty quick.
Nice.
All right. Well, how about we? Let's see. So there's one question: can I play Kansai Fighter with friends?
Yes, we have a lot of different ways to play. So one of the cool things about Kansai Fighter is we support full cross-platform multiplayer. If a friend has an Android phone and they want to play with the Steam version of the game, you can totally hop into a match together. Right now on the Steam demo, if you want to connect with a specific friend, just shoot them an invite while both of you are playing the game through your friends list. Or if you want to just try maybe meeting some new people who are also fighting game enthusiasts, our online play right now will match you up with a random person that's looking for a match as well. We do plan on having some more options for rematches and kind of persisted sessions once the game goes into early access on Steam for online versus, as well as some fun maybe variations of our versus mode that allow you to use your successes or failures to cash in for some special abilities. So yeah.
I will also say, if you do happen to live on the same Wi-Fi in the same house or whatever, you can also play locally.
Yep.
Very
And
easily.
we also support remote play together. And we have a local versus mode as well.
Yep.
So there's a lot of ways
Yeah,
to
you
play.
can play on the same TV, basically. Yep.
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 In the future, we've also talked about potentially adding some different variations of the game for more co-op capabilities. So we've been talking a little bit internally about adding a story rush mode, which would allow you and a friend to play through the 9-chapter story mode together, controlling each of the 2 characters that are involved in each showdown. We're still kind of concepting how some of that would work, but we're always looking for adding, more new and unique ways for players to be able to share the game together. So, yeah. Yuraku here. Yuraku's an interesting one of our characters. I describe her fighting style as sort of a lurist. Like, she lures you into a variety of traps and tricks that she has. Her main weapon mastery is a bow, but she has some interesting abilities where she can expend some of her charge to lay stage traps or cause these big area effects that kind of force the opponent into some different tough spots.
Like that.
Yep.
Oh, she almost got it.
I need to actually focus on playing the game a little bit more.
Yeah.
But got me. I'm gonna have a game over here. Shoot, that's all right. I'll hop back into the fight.
Well, so how about, because Shane might need a little bit of need some help
Breather.
so that he can.
You want to try your hand,
Sure, why
Logan?
not? Let's give it the
All
old
right.
Shadowrooski.
But yeah, so our story rush mode, that's something I don't know that we've really talked about too much. I know
Not
I've talked
really.
with you
Yeah.
about it, and but yeah, one of our goals with, we're fighting game enthusiasts, and we really want to help kind of facilitate growing a community together around Kansai Fighter and just a celebration of fighting games in general. So on that note, if you're watching on Steam, scroll down the page for just a second and click the little link to join our brand new Kansai Fighter Discord, where we have all sorts of fun celebrating fighting games and talking about the progress of Kansai Fighter. It's also a great way for you guys to provide us feedback about the game and to report any bugs that you might find. Try as hard as we do to make sure the game is bug-free, but
Yeah, nothing's perfect, sadly.
yeah. I think the build's in a pretty good spot,
Yeah,
though.
overall it's pretty good.
No, this was my chance to be.
So we were talking about that Fourscore AI.
Yeah. So why don't you kind of explain what
In
that
a little
means?
more detail of
Yeah.
that, yeah. So it's called Fourscore as sort
7
of
years ago.
yeah, an amalgamation of forecasting and scoring. So the AI, basically what it's doing is every so often it's snapshotting where the game is in that moment, kind of like taking a picture, and it looks at, for example, for Yuraku, I have these 5 different attacks that I could do starting right now. So it, in the background, will play those out from that starting point that was snapshotted. And as it plays them out, it will score them in a bunch of different categories, like how much damage did I deal? How much did I engage the opponent? How much damage did I take? We have a whole bunch of metrics that are tracked. And from that, based on its current strategy, it will boil that down to an efficiency score for that behavior being triggered right now. And when it wants to begin doing a new thing, it will evaluate the most recent result it got and what actions it was scored. And based on your difficulty and some randomness to the selection, it will pick an ideal either offensive or defensive behavior at that moment. And it does this over and over and over repeatedly. Our expert AI right now will run through those simulations every 50 milliseconds, so about every 2.5 frames. And it's simulating hundreds, possibly a few thousand game tick frames.
Yep.
Every one of those runs in the background to figure out the ideal strategy. And, there's a couple different reasons why we decided to go with this model. One of the big strengths it lets us have is that it's basically highly adaptive to the balance of the game.
Yeah.
It allows us to tweak the balance of certain move dynamics and things like that, and it just naturally works.
We don't have
We
to
don't-
rebuild.
No,
Yeah.
no, I was so close.
We don't have to re-implement AI, and we don't need to worry so much about all the fine scenarios to account for. Now, there are some special cases, and we still have a few situations on top of the 4-score system where we do watch for specific scenarios to have the AI do certain things, but we generally try to stick to nudging it in the right direction.
Yeah. We try to avoid things like it spamming a certain move, or if it detects a player spamming a move,
Yep.
they'll try to break out of that.
So,
I do want to just take a quick moment here to let everybody know that this is hard.
Yeah.
And I don't play on hard modes. And this is exactly.
It's all good.
It's
And
pretty
see,
hard.
We're just showing off how capable the AI
Yeah,
is.
Well, there's still a lot of tuning we need to do. but
Yeah.
That's going to be the hard part. Just tweaking the variables of like how often does it do certain
Yeah,
things,
so
or-
I guess elaborating a little more, every fighter in this game, each character has 3 different types of AI cores that we designed. These are cores that emphasize different aspects of the game. You might have a turtler core, or a berserker core, or a striker core, a defensive core. Every character has 3 different cores that they will rotate between. It's sort of like what kind of strategy they're prioritizing in that moment. And those cores are sort of how the AI emphasizes the different scoring aspects of the move. So a defensive core will obviously probably prioritize things like damage avoided, gaining distance from the opponent, things like that, to boost a particular outcome by a greater margin in that that side of things. Striker core might be concerned about how many individual hits are being delivered and how much hit stun it manages to invoke on the opponent.
to try to prioritize things
Yep.
like combos.
So to give some different flavor to each character, they're rotating between those 3 cores based on different situations that may cause them
Come
to
on.
shift strategy.
Yeah!
Oh
I knew it.
my
I'm like,
gosh.
Yep, that's a good move to finish.
Sliver. We're stuck. We're not going to get past Yuraku
Nope.
at this point. But anyway, so Sean kind of mentioned all the tweaking we do. We're still balancing like how much do the cores care about certain aspects of what they care about. And our general goal for the 4-score AI system is to get our highest end difficulty as difficult as we can, and then to work to scale it down from there.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to take something that is really challenging and make it a little softer, but it's hard if you fundamentally don't know how to get more challenge in the game to work your way up to that. So we believe that this system is the solution to us having a really good amount of challenge to the game for our CPU fighters, and
As you can
Yeah.
clearly tell.
and we're really excited to debut that with our demo here.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna need to try something different.
Yeah, the fun thing with working on this is we've developed a lot of our own technology. Like this is our own engine. We have
Yeah.
our own rollback net code, the AI system. We even
Basically,
have an image format.
yeah, everything for the game has been made from scratch. This is using our in-house Ayea engine that we built from the ground up. As Sean mentioned, we've developed a custom graphics format that provides a high level of compression, so you can get updates quicker and not take up much hard drive space to house the game while still having a really broad amount of content behind it. And yeah, our network stack and our rollback implementation was done from scratch. So many years of hard work and tooling have gone into creating this, but we're really proud of the result.
Yep.
So, when did this project start?
Yeah, the initial concept I kind of pitched to the team in the late summer of 2010. We kind of set about seeking out a primary artist for the project. That's how we found our lead artist, Jas Carpenter, another Kansas City-based artist, and we kind of just delved into concepting and production. We've been working on getting this game off the ground on our time. We still all hold full-time jobs outside of this, and but it's been a passion project for us for this time, and it's really exciting to be at this point where we can finally share a public demo with everybody on Steam and look towards early access launch soon here. if we want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Just let's go with let's start a little bit from the beginning still. So we talked about how when it started. So like, how did the studio start?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's partially my fault, or
all
maybe
your fault.
primarily my fault. So I've known that I've wanted to get my own game studio off the ground since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
It's been a life goal of mine to open an independent studio that really focuses on the games first and the business second. I met these guys when we were in school here locally. We quickly became friends, and I kind of shared them my idea for the studio and sort of our creative vision for that and for this game, and it's how this all got started. Between that and many rounds of Mario Party, Mario Kart, and
Yep.
Guitar Hero, Rock Band, but yeah, we're really a kind of a games first group. We want to create experiences that are just very unique for players and
That is what I thought.
tell some interesting stories in ways that you don't expect. So.
Yep.
And that's, I think, part of, we were talking earlier, but a little bit of what makes Kansai Fighter unique. The concept for a fighting game where, you have characters that are sort of in the inner mind of the lead character, that represent different aspects of his personality, and following what I would say is a little bit of a different kind of story for a fighting game, was really what kind of gave me some of the drive to see this concept to reality. So, yeah.
Yep.
So let's go. So I know that there's some new people that are joining us on Steam.
Yep.
So welcome everybody.
Yeah.
I do want to invite all of you who are currently watching on Steam, if you would like to play with us, go ahead and download the demo. Luckily, it is a relatively small game, or package, I guess.
Yep.
So downloading shouldn't take long, and we're gonna go ahead and hop in some online multiplayer matches here soon, and we can go ahead and maybe fight somebody. You guys can check it out. I guess speaking of that, what are some of the controller inputs that we have designed for the game?
As far as the actual input mappings, yeah. So,
or what supported controllers?
oh, sure. So pretty much any type of controller generally should be supported. Arcade fight sticks, Xbox controllers, PlayStation controllers, Switch. Worst comes to worse, our library will basically translate them to a generic Xbox gamepad in terms of mappings. But yeah, you have the ability, like we mentioned earlier, to remap all the controls in the game. We've showcased Kansai Fighter at a variety of events on some of our custom-made arcade sticks, as well as traditional controllers. So if you do happen to stumble across a controller that for some reason does not appear to work, please reach out to us on our Discord. We'd love to know what you're trying to use and how we might be able to get it to work for you. But yeah, we really aim to provide the game on a huge variety of input methods, platforms, and cross-play support. So,
Yep.
So when we first started, we were playing as Osamu, who I'm fighting right now, and he was kind of our really good all-around kind of character. So why don't you kind of just tell us a little bit about who I'm playing?
Kyoki, yeah. So Kyoki in the demo is kind of our, I'd say, more rushdown style character. She focuses on a lot of fast, light strikes. She also has a gymnast fighting style, so she does a lot of acrobatics. She has a huge amount of mobility to get around the stage, multiple air-based attacks. So she's just really good and fast. Similar to Osamu, we sort of mentioned he's a good one to start learning how to pick up and play because a lot of his specials are just based on punch attack commands. Kyoki is kind of the other side of that coin. Most of her attack commands are kick based. So her and Osamu are probably the two easiest to kind of pick up and start learning how to play the game with. Two very different fighting styles, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that I guess you kind of, you talked a little bit about Yuraku before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuraku, she has kind of a lot of lure and trap mechanics to her build.
Me again, too.
Yeah. Yeah,
For those of you who are just joining or joined relatively soon, I was trying to fight Yuraku earlier.
Trying and failing.
And I did not.
It's okay.
I did not do a very good job.
It was on
Yeah.
hard.
But yeah, Yuraku's primary melee attacks, she wields her bow, but some of her secondary attacks, she does a lot of luring the opponent into various traps. She has a stage trap she can drop with her folding screen that will shoot darts at the opponent periodically. She can kind of pull someone back and do the water drop move. She also has a utility maneuver. We haven't really talked about those yet. That allows her to, if the opponent falls for it and strikes her, she will regain that damage as health. And her super special is pretty interesting. She basically turns invisible to the opponent, and she is essentially
Just out of range.
while she's invisible, she has both better damage resistance and damage buff. But after either a certain period of time expires or if she's struck 3 times, she'll get snapped out of it. So she still has to be kind of careful.
Yeah, it's
Come
pretty
on.
fun in multiplayer because she does just disappear on the other person's screen.
Yep. Yeah, it's a feature, not a bug.
Yep.
Come on. Yeah, there we go. Now you just got to get through one more round.
Yep. Yeah, sadly our artist Jazz couldn't join us for this since he's now living in Kyoto.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But he does send his warm regards
Yeah.
and hello, and I think he might be trying to tune in to our second developer live stream,
Yeah.
which will be the same time, 8 p.m. Central on Friday evening. We'll be doing a part 2, taking your questions and playing through the game.
Yeah. Come on.
You can do it.
Oh,
Yeah. She's a decent
Come
counter
on.
for you because she has a lot of stuff that can block you.
yep. There you go.
Nice.
Got the super. Oh, double burst. You got this. You got this in the bag.
Nice.
Nice.
Interestingly, she was higher this time too, so she was a little harder. Higher in the stack.
But yeah, if this you guys are just joining us, please try out our demo. We're gonna go ahead and get online here soon and play with you guys in the community, and you can fight one of us. Kiyoki versus Kiyoki.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget
Your
to
mirror
wish
form.
list in Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Please give if you are just, if you really like traditional kind of 2D fighters, if you like anime, if you just like to have a game where you can, just wail
Fight
on
on
your
the back
friends.
of a
Or
a
maybe,
bird.
you have something where if you are in a disagreement about something, you're like, you know what? Let's
Let's throw down.
let's throw down on some Kansai fighter, and whoever wins, that's the decision.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about plans. We'll touch on this again toward the end of the stream,
Yep.
but we mentioned early access. Definitely hop on wishlist if you haven't already. Kansai Fighter is going to be coming to early access sometime this spring, in the next few months. And in early access, all 8 of our core characters in the game will be available. Also, at that time, the demo will reduce to just 2 characters. So Next Fest is your opportunity to get a sneak peek at some of the characters that won't be available in the demo in the future. And yeah, once we have that live, we'll have more characters, more story
okay.
chapters,
I didn't get it all, but I guess it's good.
and much more going live. So
Yeah, a lot of the base work on the game is done. We're basically down to our last character, some of the
Keep
story,
forgetting. That's okay. That's how we do.
and then a bit of music. But a lot of the systems are there. A lot of the content is there in general.
I mean, no, you are not gonna take me down.
Mhm.
There. Oh, come on. There we
Ah.
go.
Nice.
Yeah, we still have a bit of work to go. But yeah, the game's been progressing really well, and we're excited to get it into your hands. And
Yeah, and then if you end up downloading it, please join our Discord. We would love to get any kind of feedback. I mean, the end goal is that this is going to be a game that you are, that you want to play. You want to play all of the characters. You want to know the story, and we just want to make sure that we are making the game as best as we can for you guys. I'm totally just not gonna.
And if you're just a fighting game enthusiast at large, or maybe you're kind of new to fighting games and would like to just learn more, we're trying to build a community of people that just really enjoy the FGC scene.
Yeah, I mean that's so on to let's say that you're not a really big fighter. So let's just quickly discuss some of the conventions that we've been to.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we've been to a number of public conventions. So our
Wait, did I end it?
our
You let it time
staple
out.
our staple event that we typically go to is NakaCon. It's an anime convention kind of in our backyard here in Overland Park, Kansas. And we've been present there for many years, showcasing the game and getting to meet the local community here and get feedback from them. We've also been to PAX a number of years. We've been to PAX East and PAX South several years before South ended. And we were gracious enough to be selected as a winner, or that's kind of the term they use, but featured at PAX Rising at South one year. And it was great to get to meet everybody. We had some pretty cool gameplay moments and groups come through, and it's just been great to do live shows. It's hard to really describe the sensation of seeing people go hands-on with something that you made and just get to meet them and get feedback. So this is kind of our digital way to do that with you guys here at Next Fest. And yeah, we're really excited for everybody to give it a try.
Yep.
Ready.
Yep.
Are you gonna
Yep.
get the W?
There you go.
It's getting close.
You got your super too. Yep, there you go. Oh man. All right, now there's no excuses. You should have this in the bag. Come on. Uh-oh.
Gonna be
You
that,
got it.
There we go. Boom.
Nice.
Right. So the reason was the other thing why I was bringing up conventions was, that was probably one of the bits of feedback that we did get is for. Oh, I
Nope,
thought I
you
was
got
done.
another one.
Nope.
The one bits of feedback that we got that was really nice to hear was for somebody who isn't super big into fighting games, like for Naka, for example. I mean, it's an anime convention, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's a gaming convention. But as you can tell from our artwork, it's very much geared towards that kind of audience as well as your traditional fighters. But for those who I don't really play these, they state how easy it is to kind of pick up and play. Yes, you might take a little bit to no, I'm gonna do this.
Nice.
It might take a little to get down. I think it's usually like 2 or 3 matches for people,
Yeah.
and then they go at it. I mean, a great story that happened was at our last NakaCon. We had 2 girls keep coming every single day to the booth because they really, really liked this game.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
In fact, one of them even drew Kiyoki, who I was just playing, and she did it on her phone. It was this, this really cute kind of chibi-ish
Mhm.
artwork of it, and she was just, she thought that the game was so cool, and she's like, I don't typically play fighting games. So, it's really great for, pretty much anybody who is, into fighting games, who's not into fighting games. So,
We also still do have like a full story mode. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's still something to get out of it.
Yeah.
So how about
You want to hop
let's
into some online
let's
matches?
go ahead and get in on some online matches. I'm gonna get that to you.
Yep.
And just to showcase this, so we talked about this a little bit earlier, but our game it's not Steam Deck verified, but it runs.
It should be.
It runs
Yeah.
really
We
well.
we have a native build for the deck.
Yeah.
So it's only not verified
Because it's
because Steam requires users to report that it's working. So please, if you have a Steam Deck, give it a spin. We think it's a really kick-ass title for the deck.
This game looks really good. Don't mind
Yeah.
the fingerprints, but
And
it runs really well.
if you are prompted for your Steam Deck experience, please take a moment to respond to that so we can let other people who have decks know that it works well.
Yeah. I will say, as far as platforms, we do officially support Linux, Mac, Windows,
Yep.
Android right now.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll actually go ahead and hop in on Android here, phone 2, a little bit later, just so you can see the cross
Start
playability.
searching. So if you're watching and you want a chance to play us, go ahead and grab the demo and hop on in to online mode when we're searching, and you might get a chance to appear on stream. All right, I'll go Osama this round. Oh, you get to pick this time.
Let's do Kenta's. So we fought Kenta in the beginning, but we haven't really done anything since.
Yep.
So do you want to kind of explain
Yeah,
just a little
Kenta's
bit
style.
about
So
who Kenta is? And
yeah,
his play
Kenta
style?
is kind of our tanky brawler character. He's definitely more paced, but his individual strikes are very, very painful. And if you can get in the right rhythm with him, he can be devastating. So his main archetype, he's sort of a brawler, but he does have some capabilities outside of his hand-to-hand combat. As you can see here, his geomancing, where he can basically summon the earth. He can draw boulders or spikes to unleash upon his foes. So.
Mhm.
And then here is actually another thing to talk about
Mhm.
is so the game is muted on our end, so we don't hear, but but we know that you guys can. You might hear our characters actually talking. So why don't let's talk about a little bit about our voice
cast? Yeah, we have a really amazing voice cast for the game. We
Uh-huh.
we started the process of opening up auditions for the voice cast for about 10 roles a few years back, and we had over 300 applications, which was amazing.
Oh yeah.
And it was also very difficult. I mean, there were so many talented people in the voice acting community. Obviously, we didn't have enough positions to have everyone have a role this time around, but we have an awesome cast. There's a couple. It's just a very diverse cast of voice actors. So Kenta here is voiced by Rick Wolf. He's local to us here, and he actually recorded Kenta's voice work here at the studio.
Yep. He also has a Twitch that's pretty funny.
Yeah, definitely check out Robot Co-op if you can on Twitch, his channel. But yeah, we have a whole variety of people. Yuraku, voiced by Marissa Lenti. You may have heard her as Mose, I believe, in Borderlands 3. Elsie Lovelock voices Yasu, not in the demo, but she was well known for some of the Pokemon memes a couple years back, and a couple other things that she's done.
The thing that is definitely current is the Hazel something hotel.
Has Been Hotel.
Has Been
Yeah.
Hotel. She is the lead character's singing voice.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yep.
And so they just released that
Mhm.
on Netflix.
Yep.
Recently. So-
Yep. And a whole bunch more people. Joe Gaffini voices Isamu. We have the two Haleys, Haley Neeson. I hope I'm pronouncing everybody's name correctly. Haley Parsley, who do Kyoki and Hitan respectively. Siddhartha Menhas, who voices Itami. I myself might voice a certain character in
Maybe.
story mode. There is a little sneak peek in story mode. For those who try that out, there's a character you can't play as in the demo, but can face off against there. Oh man, who else? I feel like I'm forgetting people.
Yeah,
I
all
got to
of
make
the
all the call outs
names.
now. We got Isamu, Hitan, Kenta, Yasu, Yuraku, Kyoki,
Did you cover our announcer?
Tommy, Shinrao. Ah, yes.
Or the
so,
other two?
yes. So that is of the core cast
Yeah.
of characters. We have two characters that are more boss-like characters. They'll be added to the build later, obviously, as we get to the story mode content for them. But yes, we have Krista Tolley
Mhm.
voicing Khan, our main villain, and D. Tyler Foltz is voicing Haku, one of our other core boss characters. So we're really excited to have them on board. And then Madeline Rose is voicing the announcer in the game, and maybe something more that you'll find out about when we get to full release. But yeah, we're blessed and really excited to have such a great voice cast. Everybody knocked it out of the park with their performance
Yep.
in the game, and just brought such a new life to the characters. So
Well,
we're-
one other quick story that was great about that too is like we put it out there for like a couple weeks, and we weren't getting too many hits, but one of them decided to put it on one of their subreddits or forums, and like it just exploded from
Yep.
there.
Yep.
So that really helped us a lot.
All right, I'm gonna be dangerous. I'm gonna go random.
I too am gonna go.
Oh no!
Flip the coin.
This
Yeah,
is where
I
we
mean,
crash the build. 'cause full random.
I've tested.
Yeah. Our process. I mean, just for that, I think it was a month.
Yeah.
It was
Actually,
it
narrow
was a
everything
month
down.
to go through just selecting the roles, and we had to go through multiple rounds of like spreadsheets and listening to samples and making private votes and taking tallies, and I mean it was
Okay, wait,
was
I am a suck.
yep.
Yeah, and I guess related to sound, somebody who worked on our music too.
Yep. So I also have produced all the music in the game.
All custom new stuff.
Yeah. So the soundtrack for Kansai Fighter is pretty dense, actually. I'm expecting by the time the game releases, the final total will be around 60, 62 tracks in the soundtrack, and just a pretty broad variety of styles. I tried to give each character kind of a different sound to the different themes that they have. But yeah, we have a fully orchestrated soundtrack for the game. I think we mentioned, but story mode features 9 chapters of that. And you'll get a chance to play as each of the characters and see how their role plays out in the overarching story of the game. Got it.
Oh. I
Yeah.
mean, not all, because I was like, oh wait, did I lose the last? I did.
You-
No.
We're still.
No.
Almost there.
What are some of your favorite fighting games?
Oh man, it's tough because I really like all of them. I mean, obviously, the core, right? You got your
Nice.
You got your Street Fighters, your Tekkens, your Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters, Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue. I mean, like they're Soul Calibur. What else am I forgetting? I mean,
Dead
Smash,
or Alive.
obviously DOA.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, I've been playing a good chunk of. You tried a little bit of Tekken 8 when it came out recently. Been having some fun with that. Street Fighter 6 earlier. Well, I can't say early in the year, but within the last year.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we've had a good run of fighters recently.
Yeah.
All right, so I am going to.
Quick, anybody who's going to
Yeah,
try the demo,
interrupted.
beat Logan. Beat Logan into this match.
Yep.
Just hop into online right now.
So I am going to.
He's gonna try to hop
our
in on-
mobile version. And what I'm actually going to do. Actually, no, I won't do that yet. But
Don't do it.
network online. Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that. Yep, I need to fix that. There's a small bug on his version.
Well, here, let's just pull it up on here.
I mean, if that's the case, why don't? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can
We
take
can
You
just
can
give you
just
another-
use the other phone.
Yeah, there's a small bug on Android that I gotta fix. Always something.
Yep. It is always something. All right.
To be fair, it's more on Google's side, but we have to work around it.
Searching for match. So just so you guys can kind of see, this is the Google Play version.
Yep.
So we are currently searching for people to play
Nope.
against.
There we go.
Yep. So
All right, I'm going to go Uraki this time.
I am going to go. Sonic.
So one difference with the Android version is there are touch controls.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was actually going to go ahead. Once we get into the screen, I want to show you the difference between when you're playing on like Steam or your Steam Deck versus the mobile device. So if you look at the bottom of the game, those two kind of black areas, that's actually where your controller input is on your mobile device.
Yep.
So, and I mean, here we can see me kind of doing. Just going
Yeah,
back and
I was
forth.
gonna say one of the things that's kind of unique about Kansai Fighter that we didn't really talk about too much because it's not in the Steam edition here, but if you check out the early access on Google Play, this is definitely the case. We really wanted to find a way to design kind of a classic tournament fighter style game on the mobile side around having the most responsive controls. We've seen a lot of trends. There's been a lot of games that will just try to stick on-screen joysticks and buttons like
So
a
your
traditional.
thumbs are just covering
Yeah.
the entire.
And it just does not work well. And we've also seen games that like dumb things down a lot. They'll have you just tapping and swiping mindlessly. And we really kind of set out and said, look, there's no reason that you can't have something that is built from the ground up to provide this kind of gameplay experience. So we prototyped and tested a couple different techniques for doing custom inputs for the mobile edition, and we came up with sort of a 4-button scheme we think works really well. So yeah, if you have a chance to check it out, definitely take a look. We think we've provided a unique style that a lot of pocket editions haven't really captured. So
Yeah, I mean, kind of going back to what we talked about earlier about going to conventions, because that's been a bulk of our initial feedback. Which again, we would absolutely love for you to give the demo a try in Steam, join our Discord,
Yep.
and give us any kind of feedback, good or bad. Because again, we're wanting to make this the best experience that we can.
Mhm.
But another thing, because when our game first came out, we were focusing on the Google Play Store. And when people were coming to our booth, they're like, "Oh, it's a fighting game." And they're like, "Oh, it's a mobile game."
Yep.
And
There's
it's
a lot of stigma for that.
right. So
Which we're trying to break.
Yes.
Right.
I mean,
and I
But yeah.
and there's multiple reasons why I think we are. One is so you have that kind of mindset of like, oh, it's a mobile game, but once you actually start playing it, you're like, oh wow, these controls make a lot of sense, and that was one of the things that
Liam.
we really got a lot when it came to the conventions was just our controller design made sense for a touch device. I'm a Samu. I thought I was.
I was
Kento.
wondering what you're doing standing there.
I'm like, oh wow, I'm already beating him. Never mind. Nah.
Yeah, another.
that's my winning strategy.
Yeah, just confuse
Confuse your opponent into thinking they're the opposite character. Works every time.
Yeah, another big thing is we don't have
50% of the time.
mobile ads or.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing
Microtransactions.
is like we are not in this for MTX. We're not in this for ads. We want to make a good game.
Yep.
Like we want to build a community around a good game, and you know we want that game to speak for itself. So, but yeah, yeah.
Nope.
I
all right,
can't-
all right.
And I just can't stress this enough. When you look at this game on an OLED screen,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it
it-
just
really good.
looks so good.
Yeah.
Very bright colors.
Like the Steam Deck OLED, it looks really
So,
good.
Actually, why don't we talk a little about that? Because we have only barely mentioned it, and that is the fact that this game is 100% hand drawn.
Oh yeah.
So we employed an interesting approach to the frame production for the game. We basically shot all of the characters, kind of going back to old school like Mortal Kombat approach. We shot live reference for all the characters in front of a green screen
In a basement.
and in a basement. Provided those frame references to Jazz, who hand sketched every frame of animation. Those were digitally scanned and colored by hand with drawing tablets and other techniques to yield the nearly, I forget the frame count,
hundreds.
over 2,000 frames, I
It
think.
was over 2,000.
For the game, and all of the background art and story art was all hand done by
Yeah.
Jazz using
Some of that was
similar-
even like hand brush
Yes,
painted.
yeah. So it's definitely a very distinctive style, and we've won a few awards for the visuals. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of the. So, like, I was a reference for Kenta
Mhm.
and Shinra.
Shinra,
Yeah.
You'll have to. You'll
There's
have to
some-
forgive me, as that was 10 years ago.
We have
Yeah.
some fun behind the scenes photos.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to consolefighter.com, we have a we at the very bottom where we talk about kind of how we do the reference shots. So,
I'm gonna
okay,
go
you're gonna
Do
go
it.
full
extreme.
extreme. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if I can get through.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and sit in the lobby, and I'm gonna do this on my phone. I'm gonna sit in the lobby, and again, if you want to go ahead, fight me. You want to go ahead and beat me at my own game. By all means, I'd love to fight anybody who is currently watching or who has the demo. So for some of our like hit references,
Oh yeah.
because I needed to basically make it look like I was getting hit, so I was like, we used an extension cord,
Very long extension.
very
cord.
long extension cord, and I think Sean
Provided
basically like
Hold
pulled
it.
it,
Yep.
and that hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yep.
But you know what? It was worth it because we got good reference shots. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I will say even on top of that, like we've gone back and refined these over the years
Oh,
as
yes.
we've gotten feedback.
Yeah.
Drawn new art for in betweens and things. So
Yeah.
a lot of work's been put into these.
I'll take it slow. Fight!
Come on, Shane.
Dang
you
it.
can do it. But yeah, feel free. We'd love to have you join our new Discord. You can find it in the links below. You can follow us on our other social channels. So we are on Facebook. We are on Twitter/X. We are on Instagram. And I usually try to keep us keep the community pretty updated on what we're doing.
And when we stream, we tend to stream on like 3 or 4 different platforms. So
Yep. Yeah, so like currently we are streaming on Twitter, Steam, which going forward, all of our streams going forward will also be on Steam as well. And then YouTube and Twitch.
Yep.
So feel free to join any one of those. Follow us on any one of those.
Don't forget to wish list.
Yep. Wish list. We'd love for you to try out the game and tell us what you think. There was something I was going to say other than
It's always
why
something
can
else.
we not beat Uriah?
She's good.
It's on extreme.
So give us. So we were talking about a little thing with Yuraku that could happen if you're playing, I guess, against her in regards to the end of the match, where she has a possibility of potentially drawing the match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things is that there are some scenarios in the game where things may still deal damage after a knockout that could lead to a double KO scenario. So, for example, her folding screen here shoots a dart every so often. It will continue to fire after Yuraku is KO'd, and so there are some situations where if she has one out on the field, she can basically force a draw scenario with having the opponent get hit by that after the match expires.
Yeah,
Juggling me
kinda
there
like
a little
that.
bit at the end. And there are other situations like that in the game that are intentionally left in to create some interesting edge cases like that. But
Yep. Yeah, we try to add little bits of detail every once in a while.
Do you want to explain the move that she kind of just did?
yeah,
Double
that
KO.
is her whimper move. It's her utility maneuver. It basically, if you are foolish enough to hit her when she does that, she'll absorb that damage back as health. Now, it costs her charge to do, so she can't just keep spamming that. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop trying. That's pretty tough. It's the input delay.
Yeah,
It's the input delay in the preview.
on OBS. Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and switch us back to
Yeah.
all three of us, because our time is almost
Just about
running
up.
out.
Yeah.
But for those of you who joined, thank you.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing another Q&A session this Friday at the same time. So
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Again, please download the demo, give it a shot, join our Discord, give us some feedback, because again, we'd love to hear what you, the community, really want or really like about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, wishlist us. You can follow us on our social channels. It's pretty much Kansai Fighter on almost everything, or Circean Studios. You also notice above me is Kansai Fighter Live. So we do a kind of a monthly, every 6 weeks or so, update to the community over, what have we been working on with with Kansai Fighter. What's the updates?
We'll occasionally
Yep.
have fun streams like just
Yep.
building Gundams and
Yeah,
talking.
we've built Gundams, we've built Legos.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
if you're curious about the development history of Kansai Fighter, the entire 36 episode series, 38
Yeah,
thus
okay.
far, is available on our YouTube channel. So
Yep.
definitely give that a watch and follow along with our development.
Yeah, but otherwise, again, thank you all for joining. We really hope that you enjoy Kansai Fighter. Please give us any kind of feedback to make the game more enjoyable, or even if you're like, "Hey, this is really great," we want to hear it all. So,
Mhm.
on that note, we will see you all on Friday night, and until then, have a great week.
And
Have
good
a great
Fest.
Next Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Right?
Here we go!
Oh,